So you're going along just fine. You've started a new health program. You are losing weight. You're feeling really great. And then all of a sudden, your results start to go away and you're just not doing what you know you should be doing. Sound familiar? That's what we're talking about here on the Morning Pause. Good morning. I am Tanya Gustafson, your board certified nutritionist, hormone coach, and behavior specialist, helping women take back control of their health, hormones, weight, and roll back those menopause symptoms that the world keeps telling you you just need to put up with and you don't. So self-sabotage is what we're talking about here today. So if this has been something that you've struggled with, trust me, others have as well. So please share this out, put it in your story, send the direct link to a bestie that you know who's having a little trouble lately, because this is really going to help. All right. So when you know better, you can do better. So let's just get to it. All right. So self-awareness is going to help you overcome the self-sabotage. And a lot of times we're not even aware that this is happening. And that's where self-awareness is going to, when you know better, you can do better, right? So that's what we're going to talk about here. All right. So something happens to prompt you to want to lose weight, address your menopause symptoms, make a change in your health, whatever it is, right? Some women come to me because they don't want to end up with a whole bunch of massive health issues like their parents did, or like a friend's parents did, or a grandparent or something. Other women come to me because, the weight is they haven't been able to get the weight off. They've tried everything. They're in menopause. The symptoms are crazy. So I get, it's that sort of a demographic, which is, I think, most women in my age bracket, your age bracket, right, that join me here on the Morning Pause. And so what happens is that's one thing fires us up and gets us started, right? Like we're just, okay, I've had enough, and I get going, and you decide to make a change, and a decision is powerful, which is a really good thing. We already know that motivation is not a strategy, right? If you followed along here for a little bit, if you missed it, go back, look for the motivation one. You could watch that one. It's important. But you decide to make a change. And you take some steps to do that. And you're feeling really good about yourself, right? And things are starting to look up. You're feeling a little bit better, and you're losing a bit of weight, and maybe the hot flashes are calming down a little bit. Maybe your A1C is coming down, or maybe your blood pressure, your cholesterol is coming down. All of those kinds of things, you're just feeling pretty good. And then for some reason, it starts to also feel different, because it's different than what it was. Oh, excuse me, there, I had a little hiccup. It's feeling different than where you were a few weeks ago, a few months ago. This can kind of happen at any time. So you just need to be aware that it may happen. And different in our brain signals uncomfortable. And nobody likes to be uncomfortable, right? Who likes to be uncomfortable? Nobody, right? Like we go to the ends of the earth to not be uncomfortable, even though all the successful personal development things are always say, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. If you're in business, you would have heard that. There's so much out there about that. But anyway, we decide to make a change. We take the steps to make the change. We start feeling really good. And then that feels a little bit uncomfortable. And we're like, okay. We start to question what we've been doing. Well, I felt good, but now I feel uncomfortable. So why am I even doing this? I don't like to feel uncomfortable, right? And then we want to go. Our brain wants to go back to what's familiar, and our brain is powerful, right? So then it starts to put some things in your way. It starts to that amygdala starts to twig up, and we've talked about amygdala attack. Actually, we should do that again. It's been a while. But that amygdala kicks in and says, you can it's okay if you have the piece of cake. It's okay. Even though, and of course, I'm never going to tell anyone, no, don't have the birthday cake for your kid's birthday. Absolutely not. But that little voice might say, well, you know what? You've done this long enough. You've suffered enough. You've made yourself uncomfortable enough. You deserve that piece of cake. You deserve 2 pieces of cake and the glass of wine to go with it. And in that moment, that kind of feels like, yeah, I should do that. I feel really comfortable. That was like me the other day. So I am just like you. I am trying to be intentional with my health because I live what I coach. And so I set new health goals, new strength goals. I change them up all the time, trying to make sure that I am living what I coach, obviously, but also optimizing my health as I age, because as much as we'd like to, we're not getting any younger, so we have to keep getting creative with our health, right? With our strength, all the things. So I have a goal to lose some body fat as I get older, to build some more muscle, right? And so I'm making sure that my food is really clean and really on point. And was it yesterday or the day before? Just yesterday, the day before, I had, made some promises to myself. Okay, I'm going to be super clean in these areas. And then it came up like, well, you don't really have to be, because it would be a lot more work for you to make this for dinner instead of that, or to go and prepare something that wasn't available in the fridge right now, rather than just grab this, it's quicker. It's okay, but it's not really what you promised yourself. But that's okay, because it's the one that's available, and you've been doing so well. You already moved the needle on your goals. You already, rolled it back a little bit, so it's okay. So that happens to all of us. And I had to stop and check myself, because I was like, wait a minute. That's rolling around in my head. And it still surprises me that it happens, because I'm coaching women every single day. I'm on here every single day talking about all of these things. So I just want you to know that even though, you're probably feeling like you're the only one and you don't have any willpower, and what's wrong with me that I can't get my act together kind of thing. No. It happens to everyone. It happens to everyone. So I had to step back and go, whoa, okay. I know what's happening here. Of course, things are feeling a little bit more uncomfortable, because I was mixing things up a little bit. I was diving in and getting super clean with my food again. I'd gotten a little lax. I had relaxed a little bit. That was okay. I was still balancing, but I want to get some different results. So if I want to get different results, I have to do different things, right? And I have to make sure that I am committed to what I want, to what my goals are, and what my outcome is. So I had to go stop and go, oh, wait a minute. Yes, of course it's uncomfortable, because it's different. Now I have to just realize that and step forward and go, no, I made a promise to myself. That's the other thing. If you promise yourself where you want to be, why did you do that in the first place? If it's a very superficial thing, if it's a very something about looking in the mirror or something, like, it's going to be a lot easier to talk yourself out about keeping that commitment. If it's something that has a deeper root, it's going to be a lot easier, because that's pulling you along. So my why about always improving my health and trying to be on top of that, and increasing my strength, and especially as I age, is because I never want to be a burden to my family. I never want anyone to have to restructure their life to help me physically, because I can't do it, because I have neglected certain things in my health that have made that happen. So it's a very big why. I want to be able to, I'm sitting on the floor right now. I like to be able to get down on the floor with my grandkids, play around, run around outside. Those are big whys. If I couldn't do that, I've seen the parents of friends of mine not be able to do that. And it breaks my heart, So that I don't want that to be me. So that's my huge why. So when I step back and go, wait a minute, yes, this is feeling uncomfortable, because yes, I'm doing something a little different than I normally do it, but why am I doing it? And when I bring it back around full circle that way, it's like, oh yeah, well then it's an easy choice. Like there's my family pictures over there, right? It's for all of them and myself, because if I don't take care of me, then I'm putting a huge burden on somebody else. So just wanted to bring that to you, because I just wanted to let you know that you're not alone in the self-sabotage, because it happens to everyone. The thoughts come. We cannot stop the thoughts from coming. We cannot stop the thoughts from pouncing on those little feelings of uncomfortable when we start something new. But what we can do is come back to, why are we doing this? What was our start to begin with? And think about that. And if it's like, well, if it's something kind of wishy-washy and you've maybe already halfway achieved it, that would be why it's going to be a lot harder for you to stick to your guns. Okay? So yeah, I just wanted to come in here with that today because it's just something that's I've seen pop up. And I've talked to women so many times and they just keep saying, well, I got started and I was doing great and I'm doing all the things. And then it's just like, I don't know what happened. I just can't do it anymore. And it's not that you can't do it. It's you weren't aware that uncomfortable feeling is natural and normal and it's going to happen. Once you know something's natural and normal, like, if you have to go to the dentist or something, it's not probably going to be the most pleasant experience if you have to get a tooth filled, but you know the process. So, and you know that the outcome is better than having a rotting tooth and all that pain. So you're like, okay, it's going to be short-term uncomfortable for a long-term gain in comfort. Okay, does that make sense? So, I don't know, for those of you who hate the dentist, I'm sorry. It just was the first, I don't know where these analogies come from. They just pop into my head. So think about that way, right? All those things that we do that we're maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but we know the outcome afterwards. We know why we're doing it. Think about that here, because now that you know that it's natural for you, okay, when you decide and you make a change, you're going to start to feel good. You're going to start to feel great even. And then you start to feel uncomfortable inside the brain, not in your body. Your body's feeling really good, but the brain's like, well, this is different. How do I adjust to this? And that kind of trickles down. And that's where that feeling comes from. So if you know that, you can actually even verbally say, like when I was standing at the counter there trying to make that decision that day, and when it stopped me, I was like, I literally said no. Make a stop. Just say, nope. Okay, I recognize what this is. Nope, I have a better choice and I'm going to do that. And it made me very happy that I understood it. I recognized it. I put a name to it. And I actually kind of giggled because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's exactly what happens to my clients. It hadn't happened to me for a while because, of course, I had been, this was a fairly recent new goal that I put in, right? So I got into the comfort zone before. Now I had to get back out of that into the uncomfortable zone. And so that's where it popped up for me. So hopefully if that's popping up for you today, that this is helping you. And that you are going to be able to now recognize it and go, okay, that's making sense. I know what's happening here, but I know the better outcome on the other end of this. And I've got this, right? Okay, so please share this out because there's so many women out there who need to know it's not just them. It's not their willpower. They're not broken. And the self-sabotage doesn't have to happen when you know the cycle of what's going on, right? That you're self-aware so that you can go, oh, this is what happened. I'm here. Oh, that's why that's happening. Let's go backwards and put a stop to that so that I can keep going and feel really good when I actually do hit those new goals that I'm making, right? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining me here today on the Morning Pause, where I go live every morning because when you win the morning, you win the day. All right. So happy weekend. See you back here tomorrow.